Now for something very different, we're going to be looking at matrices. So what is a matrix? Well, have a look at this. This is the definition, okay, of a matrix. It is an arrangement of numbers in rows and columns enclosed by a square bracket. So this is a matrix. This is a 3 by 3 matrix. It has 3 rows and 3 columns, and each one of those values inside there is called an element. So A11 means the element in row 1, column 1. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So looking at this matrix here, if we wanted to label the matrix, we would always give it a capital letter. So we might say that this is matrix A, and that is a capital letter. All right. The order of a matrix is the size of the matrix. And we've just talked about here how there were 3 rows and 3 columns. So the order of this matrix would be a 3 by 3. Notice the order in which we always say this. So you can see that we always say the rows first and the columns second. So this is a 3 by 3 because it has 3 rows and 3 columns. Looking at the next point there, the number of elements in a matrix is obtained by multiplying the rows by the columns. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? So here we had 3 rows, 3 columns. Altogether, we had 9 elements. And if you count them up, you will see that there are 9 there. All right, there are different names for a matrix. A row matrix, a column matrix, a square matrix. They're fairly self-explanatory. A row matrix is where you just have a row of numbers. So you would have maybe a row 1, column 1, and then a row 1, column 2, row 1, column 3, and so on. That would be a row matrix. It can be as big or as small as what you wanted. Now, obviously, a column matrix would be the opposite, where you have a column of numbers. The one that we're going to be using quite a bit is this one, the square matrix. And a square matrix has an equal number of rows and columns. So I could have something like this. So A11, row 1, column 1, row 1, column 2. So I've got 2 elements in my row. So I have to have 2 elements in my column. So this is row 2, column 1, row 2, column 2. There are 2 by 2, so it is square. This one up here was a square one as well because it is 3 by 3. Now, each time we've been alluding to the fact that each element can be named differently. For example, in this one here, we're talking about A22. Now remember, it's always rows first, columns second. So A22 would be the element in the second row and the second column. So it really gives it a location as to where it sits in the matrix. Now, we are going to have a look at how we can enter a matrix into our calculator. So we will go through that in class because we will do a lot of this work on the calculator.